Today on Collect All Monsters, it's a clip show! Hello and welcome to episode 44 of Collect All Monsters. I'm actually not live streaming right now. I'm in Portland introducing the return of Godzilla-thon, literally like right now. And as such, we thought we'd give the co-hosts a break this month, but not our producer Jonathan, who we thank profusely for putting this incredible clip show together. Now, we normally kick things off with everyone's favorite regular segment, Showa and Tell. So please enjoy some of what could be considered the crown jewels of the Collect All Monsters collective collection. Take it away.
Everybody knows I love yokai. This is a yokai from the northern area of Japan that's called a nagahame. And they are oni that terrorize local children, and people dress up like these guys and go door to door and basically yell at kids, "Are you gonna do your chores? Are you gonna eat all your food?" They look exactly like this without the sofa flair.
You think it's really cool.
Coronia is one of my favorite Ultra Monsters. Kind of an underrated episode. I think it's a great episode. And they did a really excellent job with this
beautiful.
figure. And what's even better is it came with this little teeny figure. Goto, the fake Science Patrol member, reveals himself to really be the blood-sucking plant from Bolivia.
I got myself the 30 centimeter favorite sculptor's line, everybody's favorite Cosmic Monster, Bionic Monster, Mecha Godzilla.
Oh, yes! Oh my gosh! Oh, so shiny!
Yeah.
Yes, he's really shiny. He's brand spanking new.
Real quick, some stuff I got from G-Fest. Shout out to John Drain. I have been looking for this particular Sun Guts Shin third form for like 5 years. He posted in one of the Facebook groups all these different colorways, and I saw this one. I was like, John! Oh my God! Everybody's been getting these in. Man, it's just, gorgeous. Oh my gosh. Like, you can't go wrong with the Mondo stuff. Like, we love the Mondo team. They're always giving us like great items. And like, I love the addition of the blues that they put in here. It's just really big too. Kaiju Creep. And then check this out.
Awesome.
There was a patch that came with it. So I have my hat now. My pink girl hat came in. And then Joe has a blue hat.
Dude, John, you're crazy, man. What are these?
Mini Showa record player that comes with tracks from the old anime and live action.
A mini record player? Do you have this record player?
That's awesome. Oh, yes.
That is wild.
So there you go. That's how tiny those little records are. I bought this beautiful bad boy from Mr. Del Martinez. It's the 54 Godzilla, and actually they have several paint jobs of this. He also threw in this Getter robot.
An autograph.
Sweet.
Hayata.
Oh my gosh,
Robe. Isn't that cool?
That's fantastic.
And
that's there when Butch got that signed.
Wow.
Well, that's even cooler now because Kyle was present when this happened. Maria from Metropolis.
Oh, wow.
Now, these aren't the plastic soft vinyl. They're actually styrene. And then this is pretty cool. You guys will love this. This is the Gamma 3.
Oh, beautiful. Sick.
You can see there's quite a few pieces.
Yes.
And I'm not done yet. There's quite a few pieces.
I want to talk about the X Plus Death Row Legion. Sandra got this for me at G-Fest. I'm a huge fan of Gamma too at Advent of Legion. I got the 25 centimeter big one. So it was only natural that I had to get the death for real, or whatever. So thank you to Sandra for making this happen.
I know everybody's been getting them. The Mondo Biolantes. Oh.
Nice.
So I got the Midnight. This is the Midnight Bloom variant. This one I think is my favorite out of all 4 that came out.
I came across this scholarly text on the Godzilla in nature. If I see it, I gotta get it. This is from 1971. It's a newspaper clipping of the Toho Matsuri release of Destroy All Monsters. Can you see them?
Oh, look at that!
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, isn't that great?
How do you find these things?
You got to look at the facts and premises. The Gucci's field notes.
Oh.
It's thick. It's loaded with incredible illustrations and directions.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, that's
You're
story
gonna
boards
want
and
this.
stuff, right?
This is the zombie log.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! You got one?
That's Halloween. Yep, perfect for Halloween.
Wow!
And it's crazy.
Wow.
I mean, the casting of this, if you
detail.
look on the feet, see how it's orange in there? It's orange on the inside, but it's clear on the outside. So this is the Inferno
Cool.
colorway.
I finally got Akame Tenshi.
Wow.
Designer.
Good.
It is the Iridium Glitter Shin Desu Goji. As far as I'm concerned, he is the Pride Day Godzilla. Because finally got myself the giant arc Godzilla in the same color spray that was shown in Godzilla vs. the Smog Monster, where we all got a glimpse of these awesome toys. And I'm just so incredibly stoked to have him in my collection.
I got the Shin Godzilla shirt.
Now what?
Oh my God.
That thing is really sick.
The X Plus Gigantic Series.
Oh my goodness
Godzilla
gracious.
Sword, purple edition of the Awakening Shin Godzilla.
Holy crap. Okay, that is pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
That's right. Now that one. Okay. That one is that's gorgeous.
I like the one that you, David, and Kyle got.
You mean
Got the
this one?
This one? Yes.
I was able to get some Godzilla skin. I was able to get Godzilla claw, and I finally, got a cool Godzilla dorsal fin.
Oh wow.
Did you know that when I started messing around with the idea for this show, I originally thought each co-host would have their own segment in each episode? Really can't imagine how long that would make our individual shows. But thankfully, we've had some really incredible segments since we've started, and throughout the years, here are some of our favorites.
I love more than just kaiju about Japan. I love Japanese culture. And when kaiju and Japanese culture cross, that's where you get my attention on some of the weird stuff. It's an annual tradition in Japan to give, or to get even, a daruma, which is daruma is a small, usually red, not always, doll. And when you get it, it's got 2 eyes that are empty. You're supposed to make a wish or a goal for the year, paint one of the eyes in, and at the end of the year, if your goal came true or your wish came true, you're supposed to paint in the other eye. Did you know that they made some kaiju darumas? I should say.
think I did.
I did not know. Oh, that's right.
Oh, right. That was
Oh
on the
my
promo.
God.
Yes.
I forgot all about that.
Absolutely ludicrous, absolutely silly. But there he is in his
my
little
God.
angry face.
He's awesome.
I also didn't make any wishes when I got him. I just my wish was to get this, and that came true. So that's
love
my
it.
first weird, wild oddity of
That's
the kaiju
funny.
oddities.
You all have done 1,000 Godzilla kits. Godzilla's gray. He's got tones of gray. He's got shades of gray, maybe a little green, maybe a little blue. But I had so much fun building the Billiken Jiras kit. And just using a different color palette and just I had so much fun, and I let myself go crazy with this kit. I think I really nailed the colors and I nailed the look of this particular monster, which is basically essentially Godzilla, as we all know. He
Jesus Christ.
And what? Are you mad at me now? What's mad at me? Oh no.
No, I want it. I want it.
Yeah. Billiken was the first model kit that I ever built when I got back into the hobby after the Aurora kits as a kid. So I have a soft spot for Billiken kits, and they nailed this sculpt, man. They really nailed it.
Momentarily, we will be unveiling the Tenjitsu Crafts resin model kit of the 1984 Godzilla Abyss with super cool appearance in the first ever Heisei film. Technically the Showa film, but we ain't got to go into semantics, blah, blah, blah. The first unofficial film of the
I'm here for all the
Heisei
semantics.
period. The return of Godzilla, also known as Godzilla 1985, and I cannot do this unveiling without these two awesome special people right next to me, not Gyra. That Gyra right there. Because these two awesome people were responsible for me having this kit in the first place. Let me unveil the awesome kit that Kyle brought back from Japan, the awesome model kit that, of course, Marcellus built and painted for me. So, ladies and gentlemen, I give to you the 55 centimeter, 22 inches tall resin model kit of the 1984 Godzilla. Look at that!
Yes.
Woo! Look at that! Yes! 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 Thank you, Jesus! That Marcellus know what he's doing. Oh, God, look at that! Oh, look at that! Woo! Oh, God!
Oh, yeah.
Look at that!
There's some jungle loving that's going on. It's Son of Godzilla on Souljo Island, man. So I really like this relationship between Maki, Kuromaki, and Psycho. So when he first sees her, right before they're about to start their experiment, he sees her swimming out in the lake. And he must have been, I feel like he was so smitten with her. Like, that's why he kept rubbing his face. He's like, oh my gosh, there's this beautiful girl out here. And then he made it a point to go and look for her after, the whole island had become this turmoil. And he was worried about her even before they had started the experiment. I think it's really cute to watch the interactions between them because they're like, they first off very friendly and like flirty and fun, and then it like progresses into this friendship where they're always together. She takes them to see the red water. They go on the excursion, and they run into Komanga, and they kind of grow together through this film. This is one of my favorite Showa films, and I always thought this relationship was very cute and just kind of very light and fun and flirty.
Bear with me as I kind of go down memory lane a little bit. And just music, as for all of us, is so deep and such a part of our lives. Music, there's a soundtrack for every year of my life. Go to the TV guide looking for the next Godzilla movie, and when I found it, I queued up one of my dad's cassette recorders, moved up to the TV, got ready, got the tape to go.
Yes.
And I had a red sneaker box full of every Showa Godzilla movie that came on television from the 75 up to about 1984 when everything started to change a little bit. This one, you can see where I wrote Godzilla on it. This one's from the 90s. When I took my Sony Walkman on my first trip to Japan, I could hear the voices in the background. I was recording a family members.
From when your family wasn't quiet?
Yes.
YMSF. When I was a kid, I loved the Mad Balls. I only had one or two of them when I was a kid, but when those came out at Toys R Us, they were the coolest sculpted things. And I look back on them now. I still don't have any, but I look back on them fondly and think of how they influenced my monster love too. And so when YMSF started releasing these Hedera Mad Balls in vinyl, I had to have one.
That's pretty
And they're
obscure.
really affordable.
Weird, yeah.
Really affordable. I think probably 60, 75 bucks. So yeah, that's my guy, this little Madball Hedra. Just a crazy little kooky.
I love it. The one that I just got, the most recent kit that I built, the Ryu Oyama stylized 1954. To me, this looks like a cross between a 54 Shodai and a GMK.
Yeah.
And I just absolutely love everything about this kit. I love the sculpt. I love the pose. I love that it looks like a man in a suit. I just think that this kit is the quintessential Godzilla kit of my entire collection. The colors aren't exactly that vibrant. I mean, it's basically, your typical Godzilla colors, but just and you can't see the nuances, on the video screen. But trust me, I'm really, really proud of this kit, and I'm so grateful to own it.
I'm speechless. I don't see anything topping this thing. I'm sorry. This thing is beautiful. Look at the mouth, like Marcella said.
Yeah.
Look at that. He also added this tongue.
It's a nice piece. It's a real nice piece, man. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh, God. Oh,
Yeah,
God.
I did a lot of those dorsals. So every dorsal has its own fade look to it, the way I did it.
And you did it with silver, right? That's what you said?
Yeah, I did. Yep, I did a black, then I did the silver, came back with the black again, and then did the silver. I did a lot of work on that thing, man.
This relationship I like too because it started off a little rough. Maki was a reporter, so he kind of used the situation of her being reunited with her brother to further his reporter's agenda. Now Godzilla's attacking, and Maki is trying his hardest to make sure that she's safe. And there's that really sweet scene where she's tending to his wounds, and they show a little special moment, just staring into each other's eyes lovingly. And I just thought that was so cute. But then I love how the rest of that, he's there's this whole scene of them, trying to get out of the building, and then Godzilla's attacking, and he's almost stepping on them, and he's holding her to keep her safe, and it's so cute. And then at the end, they're in the helicopter, watching as poor Godzilla falls into Mount Mahara.
My first Godzilla CD was gifted to me in 1993 by my brother Mark. He got me the History of Godzilla, and I was so glad it was Volume 2 CD from Footlocker, and God told me for Christmas. That blew me away. Thank you, my brother, bro. He hooked me up. This album changed my life. Because I didn't have the tapes were one thing, the cassette tapes, but the albums were another. And this album, to be able to listen to, again, the tracks, and I had never heard my favorite Godzilla, the Mechagodzilla track. Where is it? Mechagodzilla Attack or Attack Mechagodzilla, that wonderful creation that they came up with for the movie. Oh man, this album is this is everything.
So I thought this was the most weirdest, but it's also another recent release. You guys are familiar with a Japanese animation program called Crayon Shin-chan? Shin-chan, he's kind of cheeky. He's literally constantly pulling his pants down. And he also has a Godzilla figure that...
that one. Okay. That one. Yes.
I feel like when this came out, there was a very distinct... It was so polarizing because a quarter of the collectors were like, oh my God, I've got to have this. And a quarter of the collectors were hugely offended by it. So offended that they were berating the collectors who wanted to buy it. But overall, I think there's 50% of the people didn't care about it at all. But this thing
funny.
It's a classic Sofubi style, very soft vinyl.
I think it's hysterical.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I think it's hysterical too. I know, and Leslie was like, "Oh, we showing asses now?" Okay, so
right, that's right.
So
I think it's cute. building another kit again, I got to go with this one. Because, as I mentioned before, I built this with my friend Greg Follender in his apartment in New York City, like almost 30 years ago. And I did we did a pretty good job, but I didn't really know what I was doing. And there's a couple of seams and a couple of gaps, and I didn't cut the vinyl out as well as I should have. I mean, you really have to look closely to see it, but of course I see it. And I didn't put the eyes in as well as I could have. Just I would love to do this one again. I would love to just at the level I am now, you know, still improving, but I think I'm a hell of a lot better than I was 30 years ago. And this was way above my skill set. Okay, and I do have to go back in and do some paint touch-ups because being rubber, the paint does tend to rub off. You know, sometimes if you handle it. I mean, he has a wire frame in here that we made out of wire coat hangers, and there's foam in here, but and I'm surprised that he's still holding up really well after 30 years.
For the longest time, the Cybot 84 from Monster Maker 28 was my favorite 84, but he's up there. I'm like, nah, dude, you're number 2 now. You're number 2. I told you, Marcel, that the 91 you made me was my favorite Heisei piece.
Right.
Now he's just been replaced. This is my favorite Heisei piece.
Now this one isn't as prevalent. There's just like, I feel like in this movie there's just like hints. They kind of just wanted to throw in like a romantic relationship, but there is one there. And this one,
very subtle. It's very subtle.
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
Film where she says, "I'm not going to be Juliet to your Romeo." The really sweet scene where they're standing by the water and Mount Mahara is erupting in the background. I think that's a very beautiful image, and they're constantly thrown in there throughout the film. Another thing I just wanted to touch on quick regarding love connections, maybe it's not really a love connection, but relationship between Mickey and Godzilla. This is the first film where they started that connection that progressed through the Heisei films, where she eventually, I guess you would say, fell in love with Godzilla.
She does in Space Godzilla in a creepy way.
Yeah, she does.
You ain't got to kill him.
You know
This set is wonderful because it gives you some of the classes that are hard to find. Asahi Sonorama.
Oh, this is the new set that came out like last year, right?
Yes. Magma Taishi.
Oh,
theme song. The Star Sisters. Fun, you know. Godzilla Christmas. Godzilla vs. Megalon. Got to go retro. Got to head old school. Enjoy your music and enjoy collecting those scores.
Anyone who knows me knows that I love talking to people, so I'm really happy that we've had the fortune to score some phenomenal interviews, including author and collector Matt Alt, plus his wife and co-conspirator Hiroko Yoda, Marusan president Eiji Kaminaga, Mondo artists like Tom Whalen, Peter Santamaria, and Hector Arce, plus awesome fans that have gone on to do cool things like Dope Pope, the Ultraman pinball makers, Spooky Pinball, that includes Matt Frank, John Bellotti Jr., and who could forget Chris Mowry when he was still working with Toho. Another key component of Collect All Monsters is you! That's right, you, the viewer. Where would we be without you? We see you. Now go check yourself out in this GoPro footage from our G-Fest panel and see if you can spot yourself. Before we close out this show, we'd like to acknowledge that nobody's perfect, and we've all had some very special collector moments.
Exciting box days.
Am I supposed to be like, hey, this goes to Leslie now?
Yes, exactly.
Perfect.
Leslie!
Look at that.
Look at that.
He's ready.
It may not buy groceries, but mutual trust is a beautiful thing. And I'm going to be talking about Nick Adams and Kumi Mizuno. We're not robots, but
And then Ken's like, Godzilla, stay here. And if there was a thought bubble, Godzilla would be like, hell no.
His outfit looked like he was cosplaying as Two-Face from Batman Forever.
Those international dubs are heinous. Michael. International dubbing.
I love you.
I'd rather stick pins in my eyes than watch that show. Sorry.
A line I would never get into, and you would never get my money.
We could all say it together.
Toygraph.
Ikimashou! And Ohio gozaimasu, and welcome to Collect All Monsters episode 33. And broadcasting live from Japan in my hotel room.
Are we really doing this? Like, seriously, are we not going to address the obviously elephant or clueless elephant in the room?
You're kidding. No.
Marmot?
Okay, I think that's the main stuff. Just the little stuff to get out of the way. Okay.
Leslie, he's almost done.
What was the question? How I got to where I am now?
Yeah. Who are you and what are you doing here?
Okay.
That was pretty good.
She didn't say she was going to do that.
We really, Leslie, you shush.
I didn't say anything. I was just looking down.
I heard you. Off the show.
Popey. Sorry.
Groovy Pad, two good-looking young men, not a woman in sight, except for you've got eagle eyes to have that pornographic picture in the truck. There we go. Thanks for that, Jonathan. Thanks for that. That was awesome.
The brown gargantua is going to make it up there to Seattle. Okay.
You see the green gargantua.
Yeah.
Oh, I think you're muted.
Yeah, Ryan, you're muted.
How about Ryan just talk and I will dub over for you. Featuring Matango Militia, Tasty Snack.
If you watch their GMK, he also made a cameo.
You mean a cameo?
Cameo.
What is a cameo?
It's
the same thing as a high sign.
I don't know what a cameo is. I'm sorry to call you out, but I'm like, wait, what?
Can I have him back instead of her?
I regret not getting the 98.
Good. Oh, well,
I'm done,
I think
man.
That looks
I'm
really
done.
cool.
I'm out of
the
here.
98 looks
Screw
cool.
this. Man. If a fire breaks out in your house and the fire is going towards your DVD or Blu-ray copy of Monster vs. Godzilla and Ultraman, which one are you saving first? Which one are you saving? And if you unfriend me, I would totally understand.
Well, I've had a good time up until now. David signing off.
Don't keep us a secret. I mean, Loose Lips. Bring in more friends to join us in our awesome group. So share us with your friends and family.
Right.
And join the awesome Collect All Monsters.
Well, that's it. Thank you for joining us on this epic journey through the past. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Until next time.
Our planet may be doomed, our Earth devastated, the monsters are in revolt, and civilization is in chaos. We must unite and collect all monsters!
Christmas. We wish you a Kaiju Christmas. We wish you a Kaiju Christmas and a happy New Year. Many, many box days. That was very well done, right?
That was something.
That was something.
That was a piece.
Happy holidays, everybody.